Good evening, internet. I'm gonna try and keep it a little quiet because family's sleeping, yada yada yada. But over the last couple hours, I've been on Twitter and YouTube and what, and there's a lot of things going on right now. Well, one major thing affecting everybody on the platform that I'm trying to grow in, and that is a lot of people, even bigger YouTubers, medium YouTubers, small YouTubers. So far, I haven't been affected yet, but some of my stuff that would have been affected was already affected a while ago. Didn't get the monetization. What I'm talking about is YouTube is essentially, as Boogie2988 titled his video, is censoring a ton of channels because it's not advertiser friendly, despite CNN, ABC, Fox, whatever news channels on their own websites and even some of their YouTube pages with those same topics of videos getting the monetization. In my personal opinion, I feel like they're trying to weed out some of the channels they don't necessarily like Drama Alert or some of these drama channels that have popped up in the last year that are kind of more bashing each other and whatnot. But at the same time, you channels like Philip DeFranco, Repzion, Amazing Atheist, Bible Reloaded, so many other channels are getting affected that bring in stuff that is worth talking about, like your trans issues, your like with Blair White, she's trans. She brings a lot of these issues. She talks about a lot of the SJWs that are ruining the image of a trans person instead of just being a person. They're a specific special snowflake, and she's trying to get rid of that image. And then Repzion talks about a lot of stuff to try and be like, hi, you don't need to, again, be a special little snowflake. And then Philip DeFranco talks about so many controversial topics because that's the news. Controversy is the news, but his stuff's getting hit. I'm at a point where I'm trying to get more into talking about my history, my past, so you guys understand me. And some of that stuff, I know it's going to get flagged because of what it is. Because I was sexually assaulted in high school. I was bullied. Had I wasn't clinically depressed, but I did think about suicide for a while. I got told to kill myself by my coach in football. I'm not gonna explain the details because I wanted to do that in a specific video, but doing those would get immediately flagged, and I have some definitely clickbaity titles because when I do something for the first time, I like to put I lost my virginity doing this, lost my convention virginity, lost my warp tour virginity, yada yada yada. I also have some videos that I found funny, to name it, like when I was using a hose in the theater room, I called it theater blowjob. Like that's probably going to get flagged here in the next couple of days because they're probably hitting the big YouTubers first and then trickling down to the smaller YouTubers. And this is kind of scary for someone, especially who's growing. I'm at a point where I'm actually growing again. I'm not at a stagnant point that I was because I'm starting to upload content and more content and more content. It's YouTube. I've noticed that every time I start growing, YouTube inputs something new that affects the monetization, that affects the way people will put things on YouTube. And it just sitting here like, you're making it less likely for people to want to put content on your platform. Like with Loxton from Noggin, some of the things I was watching his Twitter feed for about an hour, and a lot of things he says make serious sense. And I asked, is there someone's made a comment on just upload things to Daily Motion. I asked the question of, do they monetize? Yes, and they don't have the server capacity of every YouTuber on the planet flooding over there because their rules are a whole lot less likely, especially because you can actually find porn on Daily Motion if you didn't know. Like they're definitely a platform open to controversy, and YouTube over the past year has been slowly decreasing the amount. They've added more harassment rules. They've added more stuff to where your video is more likely to get flagged. Like yes, they did help a little bit with FUPA and everything, But now they're at a point where they're starting to screw their content creators, especially those that cuss in their videos, like PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier. Almost all your gaming channels cuss in their videos like non-stop, and apparently that's not vulgar language, not advertiser friendly. Controversial topics, not user friendly. Religious topics, not advertiser friendly. But you look at this, advertisers want to essentially put the money where the views are. If someone has millions of views per video, definitely worth advertising. Like, your daily vloggers are probably going to be the least affected here, especially like Roman Atwood, Charles Trippy, and a few others who do daily vlogs. They're less likely to, because it's not controversial unless certain things. Most of them hardly cuss in the video. They're family friendly. But whereas I like to debate things. I like to talk about religion. I cuss. I cuss all the time. And I've tried to dim down my cussing because I know that there's kids that start watching these videos. But just sitting here like, it's just sitting here like, I don't know. I need to, it's more and more to the point where if you're not already established on YouTube, it's getting harder and harder and harder to grow. And this, especially for those, because a lot of your controversial channels are what's growing right now. Like, I have a friend Albany that has a channel. I don't know if it's still called that, but she called it That Lovely Bitch for a while. And she uploaded like quick 15-second videos and quickly gained traction. Let me see on YouTube really quick. That, and because she talked about certain things, she talked about the religious, she talked about political stuff and whatnot. Oh, she hasn't been active for 2 weeks, but still, it's sitting here like, at what point is YouTube gonna stop censoring their creators and stop whatnot? Because the more they censor it, the more they kind of stick us through a funnel, the fewer and fewer of us there's gonna be. Except for like the biggest ones are probably gonna plop through that funnel hole and be okay and be on top and be there. Whereas little creators like me are going to get weeded out. Creators that talk about controversy, that talk about the news, that aren't established companies are going to get weeded out. YouTube is essentially getting Tumblrized. That's what I'm seeing is all your SJWs are starting to complain and complain more and more, especially this last year, the last 2 years. You're seeing more and more complaints about it. Like, the drama channels have been around since the beginning. Yet, all of a sudden this year and the last year, they started getting complaints. They started getting lawsuits. They started all this stuff. And now YouTube is cracking down on that. I'm like, a lot of the stuff has been here since the beginning. Some of your channels that were there that the year YouTube started are getting hit by these things now. YouTube is no longer user friendly. YouTube is it's no longer YouTube. It's pretty much BankTube. Whatever they can do to make the most money. And in all honesty, they're doing the exact opposite of what they need to do. And I'm sorry I've ranted this long. It just let me know your opinion on this down in the comments. I really want to know, please, because this is a serious thing. I'm still going to upload. This is not going to stop me from uploading. I'm not going to censor myself, but I'm definitely going to try and avoid cussing like I have been. If you look in like some of my earlier videos, like from the last year, definitely a lot more cussing then, especially some of them. I literally put a tick counter of how many times I said fuck. But definitely let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Hopefully this YouTube kind of changes what they're doing and maybe stops funneling out and weeding their own YouTubers out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know again. Like, comment, subscribe, share, yada yada yada. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.